On February 1, 2026, 84-year-old Nancy Guthrie vanished from her home in the Catalina foothills of Arizona. She is an elderly woman who relies on a pacemaker and requires daily heart medication just to survive. Her disappearance immediately captured a national media spotlight. Because Nancy is the mother of NBC Today anchor Savannah Guthrie, a localized missing persons case instantly commanded the attention of audiences and broadcasters across the country. Investigators quickly found evidence of a violent extraction. Droplets of Nancy's blood were discovered near the front door, and footage from the home's security system captured a masked intruder actively tampering with the camera lens in the middle of the night. This digital timeline tracks the exact sequence of events. Nancy's bedside pacemaker monitor was synced to her phone via a short-range Bluetooth connection. At precisely 2:28 a.m., that connection suddenly dropped, pinpointing the exact minute she was forced out of range and taken from the property. All of this physical and digital data points to one specific reality. A highly vulnerable woman was abducted in the middle of the night. It is a life-or-death situation requiring coordinated professional intervention. But as the official investigation struggled to produce a suspect, a different kind of crowd descended on the Catalina foothills. Hundreds of amateur sleuths, true crime content creators, and live streamers traveled to the neighborhood, treating an active crime scene as an interactive broadcast studio. These streams thrive on audience participation. Viewers at home actively coordinate and pay for fast food deliveries to be sent directly to the cordoned-off home, forcing law enforcement to deal with Uber Eats drivers alongside collecting forensic evidence. The financial incentives driving this behavior are massive. By turning their cameras on the neighborhood and keeping the stream running, top creators in this space pull in an estimated $30,000 a week through live donations, super chats, and recurring channel subscriptions. A family's agonizing wait for an 84-year-old mother is converted into a highly lucrative real-time reality show. The tragedy itself is the product, and the viewers are paying for a front-row seat. The operations behind these channels rely on a highly reactive business model. Creators like Alina Smith routinely travel across the country to active crime scenes, taking paid requests from their live audience to investigate specific locations or follow specific people. Others use the true crime genre to rebrand themselves. Jonathan Lee Riches broadcasts under the moniker JLR Investigates, presenting himself to thousands of viewers as a dedicated truth seeker. He also has a documented history of federal wire fraud and multiple probation violations. This screenshot from a creator's live chat shows exactly how the transaction works. Viewers actively submit payments with instructions attached, financially rewarding the streamer to physically approach the family's property or confront individuals connected to the case. To keep that money flowing, creators need a constant supply of content. As this diagram illustrates, unverified rumors, like anonymous demands for millions in cryptocurrency, are amplified on stream to manufacture tension, regardless of whether law enforcement has validated the blockchain activity. This model inherently rewards escalation. Creators are not compensated for their accuracy, their patience, or their respect for the victim's safety. They get paid to be audacious, intrusive, and loud. Normally, law enforcement mitigates this kind of chaos by maintaining tight control over the case narrative. But in Pima County, the abyssal channel of communication broke down, creating a massive information void for online creators to exploit. The responsibility for that communication falls to Sheriff Chris Nanos. Right as the Guthrie investigation required maximum focus and public trust, his department was actively navigating a series of severe internal scandals. This flowchart maps the sheer volume of institutional crises surrounding the leadership. The department is simultaneously managing a no-confidence vote from its deputies, a $2 million retaliation lawsuit, and the recent arrest of a former deputy charged with kidnapping a woman. With the sheriff's department overwhelmed by internal damage control, they failed to establish a coherent public information strategy for the Guthrie case. When authorities go quiet, the internet gets loud. This institutional failure creates the exact environment predatory creators need to thrive, substituting official updates with monetized speculation. The presence of the live streamers actively hinders the search for Nancy Guthrie. Instead of dedicating every available officer to running down leads, the sheriff's department has to divert critical resources to manage crowds, clear traffic, and intercept internet-ordered food deliveries at the crime scene. The family is subjected to an entirely secondary level of victimization. While waiting for news about their mother, Nancy's children and their spouses have been bombarded by online conspiracy theorists, forcing grieving relatives to publicly defend their own innocence. In an official X statement, the sheriff explicitly names the Guthrie family, definitively clearing them as suspects. At the bottom, the exhaustion is obvious. He writes, "I'm begging you, the media, to honor your profession and report with some sense of compassion and professionalism. Paying a content creator to loiter outside a crime scene does not find missing people. It funds the harassment of victims, incentivizes the disruption of police work, and commodifies another person's worst nightmare. The next time a tragedy goes viral, the most helpful thing a viewer can do is simply look away."